Welcome back. Not just within this gaming channel, but also other stuff too. Let's pause this for a little bit. Okay. Let's talk about some new iPhones. The first round of iPhones are to be released on the 21st of September. But the XR, they're not going to be released for another month. But I know there are people out there who want the iPhone XR. I know there are people out there. In my opinion, I'd just stick with Android. Because you have more options. With Android, you can treat the operating system as if it was yours. With Android. Treat it like it's yours. But with Apple, you get what you get. What we need is a bit of variety. The only way to customize your own your iOS is to jailbreak your phone. Which is a little risky. Not only you risk losing your warranty if you do so, but you're also gonna have the risk of malware too. One thing, some people jailbreak their iPhone so they could unlock it. I'd never jailbreak my iPod. I'd never do that. In fact, I do have an iPod Touch. I posted something like that on my personal Facebook 3 years ago. Because in the neighborhood I was living that was slowly turning into a meth house. I can't tell you the neighborhood, or else I might risk identity theft if I do so. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't enjoy that. A lot of us would get really pissed. I'd get pretty pissed, along with my brother and my mother. I wouldn't like that. No. None of us would. Because that's the neighborhood I live in is personal information. That's personal info. Which I have to keep to myself. protect myself. Even though we have free speech. Another thing we gotta talk about is the RTX graphics cards, especially the 2080 Ti. Its release has been postponed by about a week. I know there are hardcore gamers out there who'd love to get a graphics card like that. With the new scalable link interface type thing called NVLink, it's basically like SLI on steroids. That's what it is. SLI on steroids. Which means better performance. With ray tracing, that also means much better graphics on video games. But the graphics cards that might be released soon after, called the 2060, the 2050 Ti, the 2050, they're not going to be released for the next couple months. Wonder if they make a GT 2030. If they do, the graphics performance on that graphics card would be similar to that on Xbox 360. No. Take it back. Xbox One. Sorry about... Sometimes I get things mixed up. Which would mean better graphics for every game, including this. And eventually, I'd be building much larger cities that are much larger than this small community I'm building right now. Might think about summoning some villagers later. Sometime in the future. Oops. Much better. Good. One thing you'll know is that most of the caffeine found in sodas and energy drinks actually come from the caffeine that was harvested from decaffeinating the coffee. Many people don't know this, but this is actually true. We don't just synthesize it. Caffeine can be a natural ingredient too. With heavy metal bands like Judas Priest peaking... Let's talk about other topics too. Like with music. One of the albums from Judas Priest has reached the top charts in the Billboard. It was back in March. 6 months ago. It was 6 months ago that Firepower by Judas Priest was released. The titular song called Firepower it's actually pretty good in my opinion. But Trader's Gate is one of the more power metal-esque songs. One of the songs that sounds more closer to power metal. Some of it has to do with the lyrical themes and the guitar melodies. But if it was sung by Ralph Sheepers, then it would be pure power metal. Even though Judas Priest helped shape most of power metal bands we know of today, like Dragon Force, Gamma Ray. And also Halloween. Gamma Ray helped shape the way for Iron Savior. And Halloween shaped the way for Unisonic. Whilst Halloween helped pave the way for Gamma Ray too. Because those four bands have one thing in common. One of the members is or was Kai Hansen. Is or was a member of all four of those bands. Frontman of Iron Savior is Pete Zielk. Pete Zielk. P-I-E-T-S-I-E-L-C-K. That's how you spell his name. But there are some power metal bands out there that are combined with death metal, especially Children of Bodom. There are power metal bands that are mixed with thrash metal, too, like Iced Earth, which is led by frontman Tim Ripper Owens, who was the lead singer of Judas Priest when Rob Halford was out. With bands that were new metal like Disturbed went towards traditional heavy metal now. Because what helped bring back heavy metal? Judas Priest and Disturbed. Especially with Halls of Valhalla. With the album Redeemer of Souls and Disturbed's Immortalized. In the Book of Souls by Iron Maiden. With one of their hit singles called The Speed of Light. Which talks about the history of... the song talks about the history of video games. From the 8-bit era to today. That's what the song talks about. And Iron Maiden's led by Bruce Dickinson. But frontman of Iron Maiden is Bruce Dickinson. Imagine if I was at a Cannibal Corpse concert and Corpse Grinder called me in to do some of the backing vocals for his Skullful of Maggots. I'd yell maggots with a pretty deep death growl that would rival that of Corpse Grinder's death growl. What's funny about Cannibal Corpse not being allowed to play at Disney World? Perform at Disney World? The lead singer, Corpse Grinder, loves to go to Disney World. That's what's funny about the band being prohibited from performing at that park. William Mudface. Pickle jumper That is how the death theme goes by Death Clock. Nathan Explosion is based off of Corpse Grinder. you were to spot Corpse Grinder at Disney World or Universal or Legoland or Busch Gardens, one thing you'll notice is he's got a huge neck. His neck is huge. And every time he wakes up, he's got a plate full of waffles on his neck. Every time he wakes up. Which is actually pretty funny, because of his huge neck. One thing you'll notice is that Corpse Grinder has an uncanny resemblance. Nathan Explosion has an uncanny resemblance to Nathan Explosion. No. Nathan Explosion has an uncanny resemblance to Corpse Grinder. What inspired Corpse Grinder to do his death growls? Some death metal bands in the name of Theocide. Yes, Theocide. With Glenn Benton as the frontman of Theocide. I wonder if I'm placing cocoa beans. I wonder if I can place a piece of jungle wood. 2 pieces? 1. Fuck no. I'm not able to do that. Excuse the language. Excuse the potty mouth. Because sometimes I am a potty mouth. The reason for this jungle wood is I'm gonna grow some cocoa. The song Mermaider by Death Clock is one of those death metal songs with galloping in it. Another one involves being a pervert with a meat hook. No, I'm not trying to be a pervert or anything. I'm not trying to be a pervert. The actual name of the song is called Meat Hook Sodomy. Which is a little inappropriate. Which is a little inappropriate. Oops. Three blocks high, so there would be some room for a glowstone lamp. Some death metal songs are really inappropriate for kids. Which is probably why Cannibal Corpse could not perform at Disney World. Because their music is inappropriate for kids. It's pretty inappropriate. Which is something we don't want. As a theme park geared towards children. Something... It's also a little disgusting to hear death metal in front of a bunch of in front of a bunch of little kids. Blasting death metal around a bunch of little kids. It's pretty disgusting. Because that's gonna scare the shit out of them. It's gonna scare the shit out of them. Plus, some of the death metal music tends to gross kids out. Like Mermaid by Death Clock it's a little better, but not appropriate for kids. Because the song talks about... It tends to be pretty violent. We wouldn't like that in front of a bunch of little kids. Because violence can shock the shit out of children, figuratively. What's wrong with raising our kids to be entitled? Even if I bust my ass really hard and made millions of dollars, I wouldn't buy a mansion with that. Instead, I'd bust my ass to help people. And help the community. Just like I busted my ass to get my gaming computer working. And functioning. One already done. Wow. That was... It would be in a controlled environment, to where the temperature is just right. Oops. Much better. I might think about planting some jungle trees. Just for the sole purpose of growing cocoa. It'd be sort of like industrial farming. But not like intensive animal farming or anything, because no animals will be used in the farm. Because I want to be more humane to the animals. I'd rather take a more humane approach at agriculture. If I had a pig like that, I'm probably going to have one as a pet. I'd probably name him Pork Chop. Which is a little ironic since pork chops come from dead pigs. Now I'd name a live pig Pork Chop. Good. There's a little bit of irony in this. Naming your pig Pork Chop. It's a little ironic to name your pig that. I might start growing some jungle trees for the sole purpose of this. This is all good. Oops. Much better. I might bring a pig home with me. Yes, I was talking about in this game. I'd rather adopt a pig from a rescue shelter. I'd rather rescue all the pigs from factory farms and take them to a rescue shelter where they would be treated for all the injuries they suffer from while they were in the factory farms. I'd save them before they get slaughtered. Right before they get slaughtered. Modern animal husbandry methods tend to be pretty abusive. Especially with farm animals. There are people out there who have farm animals as pets, not food. If I was to breed pigs, I'd breed them for pet. I'd do it for pets. I wouldn't do it for food. Because think about it. Think about it. Some people have farm animals as pets too. I'd rather have a farm animal as a pet instead of raise it for food. The only time You butcher it up is when the animal dies from old age. That's about it. That's about it. I have a really good idea. That sounds a little like Mater when I said that. Once I get all those cocoa beans planted. Good thing I didn't place any grass blocks, or else animals would interfere. Those animals would interfere. And other mobs in Minecraft. Which is good. Proof that we need to stop with factory farming. Look at the suffering farm animals have to go through just so we could eat them. Yeah, it's pretty sad. The best thing you can do to stop this suffering is go vegetarian. What's even better? Going vegan. Look at Paul McCartney. He's a vegetarian. As seen in the Glass Walls video by PETA. Some of that, what you'll see in that video it's actually true. This is it for this video. I'll finish up next. I'll do more next episode. As always, don't forget to leave a like if you liked this video, dislike if you disliked it, subs if you loved it. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. And as always, thank you for watching, and peace out.